She walked into the room, and every single head turned. Not because of her outfit, not because of her perfume, but because of her hair. Silver, effortless, and so perfectly placed that it looked like it had a life of its own. And here is the thing that nobody talks about. She was not born with that hair. She was not lucky. She simply stopped doing 5 things that most women over 60 are still doing every single morning without realizing the damage they are causing. And one of those 5 things, it is hiding inside your morning routine right now. Today, I am going to show you exactly what it is, and by the time this video ends, you will never do it again. Welcome back to Timeless Style Woman, the channel where we celebrate the most powerful, most beautiful, most unapologetically stylish season of a woman's life. Now, before we get into the 5 mistakes, I need to say something that might feel uncomfortable. And I say it with all the love in the world. Most of what you were told about hair care in your 30s and 40s is now working against you. Not because it was wrong then, but because your hair has changed in ways that nobody properly explains. And the advice? It never caught up. So let us catch up together. Right now. Here is what is actually happening inside each strand. After 60, falling estrogen does not just affect your mood or your energy. It physically shrinks the hair follicles themselves. Every strand that grows back is narrower than the one before it. Weaker. With less protective coating around it. At the same time, your scalp is producing less of its natural oil, which means every single strand is now more exposed. More exposed to heat, to friction, to the weight of the products sitting on top of it. And if your hair has gone gray or silver, here is something even fewer people know. Without melanin pigment to protect the protein structure inside the strand, silver and gray hair is uniquely vulnerable to UV damage, to moisture loss, and to heat stress. That is why it can feel wiry one day and completely limp the next. That is not random. That is biology responding to its environment. Now here is the controversial part. And I want you to tell me in the comments whether you agree. Most hair advice aimed at older women is still designed around younger hair. Thicker follicles, more oil production, more elasticity. And when you follow that advice on mature hair, you are essentially pouring gasoline on a fire and wondering why things are getting worse. The women who look incredible with thin, mature hair are not using more product. They are using the right approach entirely. And it starts somewhere most people would never expect. Mistake number 1. And this one is going to surprise you. The single biggest enemy of volume for mature fine hair is not chemicals. It is not heat. It is length. I know. Stay with me. When your follicles have miniaturized and your strands have narrowed, length becomes weight. And that weight does something devastating. Pulls the roots flat. It presses the crown down against the scalp. It widens your part line over time, until you are standing in the mirror wondering where your hair went. And no product, no spray, no volumizing mousse fixes what gravity is doing to your hair from root to tip. The solution is structural. It is a pair of scissors in the right hands. When a skilled stylist removes excess length and introduces soft interior layers, not heavy texturizing at the ends, but invisible layers that support natural movement from within, the roots are finally free to lift. Now, I want to be direct about something, and some of you may push back on this, but the Italian bob is one of the most flattering cuts ever designed for fine, mature hair. Sitting between the jaw and the collarbone, with soft invisible layers that create bounce without reducing density, it looks thick. It looks full. It looks modern. And it requires almost no effort to maintain. If you want maximum density at the ends, a clean blunt bob at chin length is your answer. It preserves weight at the perimeter and makes the hair look stronger and healthier than it even is. And for the brave women among us, a textured pixie or a biscia, which is the beautiful hybrid between a bob and a pixie, concentrates choppy layers exactly where lift is needed most at the crown, with soft, feminine edges at the hairline that are honestly stunning on a mature face. Now drop a comment below and tell me, are you team long hair or team short? Because I genuinely believe this is one of the most divisive conversations in our community, and I want to hear exactly where you stand. Mistake number 2. And this one is happening in the first 10 minutes after your shower. You have probably been told that heat is the enemy of fine hair. And that is only half true. The real problem is not heat. The real problem is heat applied at the wrong moment. Wet hair is at its most fragile state. The The protein bonds inside each strand are stretched, vulnerable, and desperate for gentleness. When a blow dryer meets soaking wet strands, the rapid moisture loss cracks the cuticle and weakens the shaft from the inside out. Not once, every single morning, compounding over time. That one daily habit alone explains more breakage than most women will ever realize. Here is the correction, and it is beautifully simple. Let your hair air dry until it is roughly 80% dry before you introduce any heat at all. That one shift dramatically reduces your total heat exposure, while still giving you full control over the final shape. Once the hair is damp, apply a lightweight heat protectant. Not a thick cream, a mist or a fine spray. Then finish drying on a low to medium setting, keeping the dryer at least 6 inches from the scalp, and lifting the hair upward and outward from the roots as you go. This is not just drying your hair. This is training your hair to sit up instead of down. Now here is the technique that professional stylists use and almost nobody talks about outside of the salon. A root iron. Clip the smooth top layer out of the way. Clamp the root iron at the base of the under layers for 1 to 2 seconds. Release the top layer back over it. The under layers now hold a hidden structural lift. A pocket of volume that the top layer rests on. The hair looks smooth and full at the same time. Not stiff. Not teased. Just lifted. And that lift lasts for days when you protect it overnight. Which brings me to something I will come back to at the end of this video. Because what you do before you sleep is just as important as what you do in the morning. Stay with me. Mistake number 3. This one costs nothing to fix, takes 30 seconds, and may be the most immediately transformative thing on this entire list. Look at where your part is right now. If it is a straight line running directly down the center of your scalp, or if it falls in the exact same place it has been falling for the last 20 years, it is quietly and steadily working against you. A fixed part does not just flatten volume at the root. Over time, it trains the hair to lie flat permanently in that direction. And it exposes a stark, visible line of scalp that widens every single year, and is almost impossible to disguise with product. Here is what works instead. A diagonal part. Starting near the bridge of your nose at the front hairline, draw a line backward toward the opposite side of the crown. This shifts the hair asymmetrically. More hair falls to one side. The crown lifts. Sparse areas along the old part line disappear immediately. And the effect is striking. It creates a graphic modern edge that makes shorter cuts look sharper and more intentional. The second option is a zigzag part. Using the fine tip of a tail comb, trace a soft zigzag from the front hairline back to the crown, then pull alternating sections to opposite sides. The zigzag completely eliminates the visible part line. It adds root lift across the entire path. And as a bonus, it disguises new gray root growth far more effectively than any straight part ever could. Both techniques require zero product. A comb in 2 minutes. That is it. That is the entire investment. And I want to ask you something. When was the last time you changed where your part lives? Tell me in the comments. Because I think for many of us the answer is never. And that is exactly the problem. Hit the subscribe button if you are finding this useful. Because everything we discuss here at Timeless Style Woman is designed for exactly where you are right now. In the most stylish, most confident chapter of your life. Mistake number 4. And this one is personal. Because I know how much we love our products. The bottle sitting in your shower right now might be the quietest saboteur in your entire routine. Not because it is doing nothing, but because it is doing exactly the wrong thing to exactly the wrong kind of hair. Thick, heavy products designed to smooth and hydrate cannot actually penetrate mature fine hair. The cuticle is more tightly bound. The strands are narrower. These rich formulas simply sit on the outside of the shaft, coating it, weighing it down, and eventually clogging the follicle. Heavy silicones like dimethicone, mineral oils, and rich conditioning masks are the main offenders. They feel incredible in your hand. They feel luxurious in the first 30 seconds after application. But on fine aging hair they are dead weight. Your roots go flat by mid-morning. Your ends look stringy. And over time, buildup at the follicle can actively interfere with healthy hair growth. And sulfates. Sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium lauryl sulfate. They strip the scalp of the natural oils it can barely produce anymore. They leave gray and silver hair dry, static-prone, and brittle. Now I am going to say something that might start a debate in the comments, and I am here for it. The hair care industry is still selling mature women products designed for younger hair. And we keep buying them because the marketing is beautiful and the promises feel real. But if you flip over almost any mainstream shampoo or conditioner marketed to women over 50, the first 3 ingredients will tell you the truth immediately. What actually works for mature fine hair are lightweight active ingredients. Panthenol, which is vitamin B5, retains moisture inside the shaft without adding weight. Hydrolyzed proteins like silk, collagen, and pea protein physically fill in cracks in the cuticle. Tapioca starch and silica-based dry shampoos build dry friction at the root and provide mechanical lift that actually lasts. And for long-term scalp health and density, caffeine, biotin, and rosemary oil. Rosemary specifically has been shown to block DHT, the hormone responsible for follicular miniaturization after menopause. Turn over the bottle you use most. Right now, after this video, look at the first 3 ingredients, and then come back here and tell me what you found. I genuinely want to know. Mistake number 5. And this is the one that most hair routines completely ignore. The 8 hours you spend asleep. While you are not thinking about your hair at all, your scalp is producing oil. Cotton pillowcases are creating friction against fragile strands. The hair you spent 20 minutes styling in the morning is being compressed, flattened, and tangled into a completely different shape by the time your alarm goes off. And then the morning routine begins again. Wet it, heat it, style it. Repeat the damage cycle from the beginning. A silk pillowcase changes this entirely. Silk reduces friction as you move in your sleep. Less breakage at the shaft. Less frizz at the cuticle. Less volume loss at the root. It is one of the most research-supported and consistently underrated changes a woman with mature fine hair can make. A satin sleep bonnet provides the same benefit with even more coverage. And if you have never tried one, I want to be honest with you. Feels strange for about 3 nights, and then you will wonder how you ever slept without it. But here is the technique that professional stylists rely on for volume that actually survives the night. And almost nobody does this. Apply dry shampoo to your roots before bed. Not in the morning. Before bed. Lightweight tapioca starch absorbs oil as it is produced overnight. So by morning, your roots are already clean, already lifted, and ready to style with almost no effort at all. And while you are at it, stop washing your hair every day. I know this feels wrong, but daily shampooing strips the scalp of the natural oils it can barely produce anymore, triggers reactive overproduction of oil at the roots, and leaves the ends dry and brittle. Wash every other day, or rinse with water only on the days between washes. Your hair will adjust within 2 weeks and you will never go back. During each wash, add 2 extra minutes of scalp massage with your fingertips. Gentle circular motion along the crown, the temples, the nape of the neck. This stimulates blood circulation to the follicles and supports healthy growth from the source. Imagine waking up tomorrow with hair that already has lift, softness, and shape before you have touched a single tool. That morning is available to you. It starts tonight. Now, you have 5 ideas in front of you, and I want to be the one to tell you directly. Do not try to change everything at once. If your hair is losing density and lying completely flat by mid-morning, your first conversation is with a hair stylist about a structural cut. One appointment will do more than months of products ever could. If your hair has reasonable shape but collapses after styling, the 80 to 20 drying method and a root iron are your most immediate tools. If your part line is wide or your crown feels thin, change the parting first. Tonight. It costs nothing and works instantly. If you are unsure about your products, flip over the bottle you use most and look at the first 3 ingredients. If you see dimethicone, sulfates, or mineral oil near the top, you have your answer. And if you are doing everything right but not protecting your hair while you sleep, start there tonight. 1 change. 1 night. 1 appointment. That is where it begins. Here is the truth that I want to leave you with. And I believe this with everything in me. Your hair is not betraying you. Your hair is asking you to learn a new language. The language of what it actually needs right now, in this chapter, in this season. The women who carry their silver beautifully are not lucky. They simply stopped fighting their biology and started working with it. And that shift is available to you. Not after some transformation. Not tomorrow. The very next time you stand at the mirror with a comb in your hand. That moment belongs to you. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 mistakes are you guilty of right now? Drop it in the comments below. And tell me which one you are fixing first. Because this community is full of women who are done settling, and your answer might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. If this video gave you something real, share it with a woman in your life who deserves to feel this way too. And subscribe to Timeless Style Woman if you have not already, because this is just the beginning of what we are building here together. You already have everything you need. You always have.